In my eyes, there are 3 movies that perfectly depict the millennial generation. One of them is Boyhood, as it literally captures the process of maturing in the wake of the millennium. Another is Unfriended, which I know may sound insane, but I plan on discussing this in a later video. And the third is Disturbia. This year marks the 10th anniversary of DJ Caruso's 2007 movie Disturbia, an endeavor commonly seen as an of-its-time teen horror film. Arguably, it's most remembered for the 20-minute segment involving lights going out, jump scares, baseball bats, a secret torture chamber, skeletons in a basement, killers lurking beneath, and garden shears. But there's so much more to Disturbia than these horror and thriller elements. And to me, the fact that it's already being lost in time is disappointing. Because the movie is doing so much more than just trying to make you squeal. More than anything, I'd argue that Disturbia is showcasing the lifestyle of millennial teenagers in probably the most accurate way this generation has ever seen. While not all of us lost our fathers in a terrible accident, punched our Spanish teacher, and were handed down a life-changing conviction of house arrest all before the age of 18, Disturbia, in a very real way, captures growing up in the suburbs during the first decade of this millennium. It serves not only as a depiction of what was, but an often enjoyable reminder of long-gone days for modern millennials. Now, at a first pass, Disturbia may seem generationally irrelevant. The movie is filled with dated technology like flip phones and that so-called live feed that Ashley painstakingly provides Kale through cell phone photos.
Well, that's pretty cool.
What are you talking about?
Now she's got like a live feed going here.
At the end of the film, Ronnie predicts his recording of Kale and Ashley making out will be the most popular video on YouTube. Fast forward 10 years, and the site's most viewed video is not teens kissing from Disturbia, but instead Despacito. But just because these young adults haven't stumbled upon smartphones or Snapchat doesn't delegitimize their struggles. What some see as aged references, I see as a snapshot of what teens were like at the time. The millennials were the first generation to reach maturity and not know a world without the internet. This explains Kale's frustration when his mother cancels his Xbox Live and revokes his iTunes access. Without this tech that he has never not known, Kale's house arrest starts to take its effect. So, rather than face the demons living inside of him, he directs his attention outwards. Literally. And throughout the film, it is Kale's words, not just his actions, that reinforce the filmmaker's firm grasp on 2000s teen culture. These kids have honest conversations the way teens of the time talked, and the way that many still do.
Anything you want to talk about? Anything? What?
No.
What?
Is this that moment? This is that...
Never mind.
No. This is that father-son... No. I'm in.
Forget I said
No. I got something.
Okay.
There's something. You got a keen eye for this.
Can you come in here, please?
My mom. She's really polite and always says please, but she has that tone, did you notice?
Yeah, I know the tone.
I met this girl today, Tycho.
Yes, Skinny Psycho. Yeah, I had Spanish with her. She's a lot of fun.
I told her my parents were going out of town, and one thing led to another. She called somebody, and then they called somebody, and now everybody's coming.
Yeah, no, I got it. So now you got the whole jock and bimbo population showing up? Well, that'll be fun.
Plus, it's not just the subject matter in conversations that stand out. It's the words themselves. The movie allows for plenty of ad-libbed humor that was actually encouraged by director DJ Caruso and carried out perfectly by young stars Shia LaBeouf, Aaron Yoo, and Sarah Romer. While the scripted dialogue by screenwriter Chris Landon is nothing short of masterful.
Oh man, she's got that Stockholm thing. Oh, you know where the hostage falls for the hostage taker?
Where do you get this stuff?
I read a lot.
Okay.
What could have been meaningless banter by a trio of teens boils down to some of the most clever wordplay I've ever seen used in a movie about high schoolers.
Back off! All right, we'll throw this where you can't fall.
Okay, just relax, okay? That's 60 gigs of my life.
Kale, would it kill you to use a bread knife?
It's a knife. What's the difference?
Well, the difference? About $60 a bed bath.
Oh man, it reeks in here.
What's it smell like?
Like the corpse of a rotting hottie.
Hi. No, I'm not over here.
The movie takes this even further by not polishing up the characters' line delivery. The characters don't talk flawlessly, intelligently, or coherently just because they're in a movie. They stammer and stumble as they gather their thoughts.
Well, you know, the news said that car was dented.
And then the redhead who was at his house, okay?
Are you sure?
He chased her around the house, and it got dark. He turned the lights out. I mean, I don't know what I saw. What if he killed her? I mean, I don't...
Are we cool?
Cool.
You're having I didn't mean to say it like that. I just didn't know you knew anyone.
Plus, let's not forget that these teens are funny, which brings me to the largely overlooked comedic highs of Disturbia.
Try something new?
No.
You're...
Yeah. My dad likes this song.
Many would probably point to Ronnie as the comedic center of the film, which...
It's us.
he is. But throughout the movie, humor is injected effortlessly and so naturally, and this aids in making everything feel so real, and thus, more relatable.
What took you so long?
Wait. We were upstairs playing.
Video games.
Yeah, video games. It's my friend Ronnie. Ronald. Say hi, Ronald.
I found it.
So stupid. Shit! Turn green! Okay, here we are, back in the room.
Why do you sound so agitated?
Okay, listen, Ashley just lost Turner, and he's coming home right now. That's why I'm agitated. I need you to read me the code, okay? So pop it open and give it to me.
Oh, no. Operation Stupid is officially over.
No, Ronald, no. You're a jackass. You are a genuine jackass.
There's no issue with that.
I promise you, sure. My deaf aunt and I'm hard.
But what really brings this movie and its characters to the next level is the challenge they are forced to overcome. No, not the glaringly obvious murderer next door. I'm talking about the film's namesake, suburban hell. If you grew up in the suburbs around this time, you know one fact. It kinda sucked. The suburbs are home to homes, and not much else. And Cale's imprisonment in his own house is a stark depiction of feeling trapped the way that many do while growing up in suburbia.
So, where'd you say you moved from?
I'm from the city.
The city.
And now forcefully relocated.
Would they think the extra bathroom would help? Maybe the two-car garage? You know what, honey? Infidelity, forget about it. Look at the storage space.
That's why I believe Disturbia has resonated so strongly with me and many of my peers. Although, sadly, not as many as I'd like. Disturbia offers this sort of vicarious wish fulfillment for the viewers who are around the same age as the characters. Getting together with the girl next door, jumping off the roof into a pool, having a huge, awesome bedroom setup like Hey Arnold or Drake and Josh, or getting revenge on your neighbors are all ideas that are kinda cool. Taking it a step further, what starts as a game to pass the time and impress his crush turns into a legitimately escalated conflict. Cale's neighbor is, in fact, a killer, and he gets to grab the baseball bat from his room, defend his neighborhood, and save the day. Plus, Cale, well, how exactly do I put this?
I popped my Spanish teacher.
And while I don't condone violence, I did go to high school, and Mr. Turner sheds a surprising amount of insight in this one moment.
I get it. There are plenty of teachers I wanted to just kill.
In that same light, Disturbia also has something I'd like to call anti-wish fulfillment, or nightmare realization. In the same way that most of us won't have to save our neighborhood from the clutches of a cold-blooded Texan serial killer, most of us don't lose our parents at such a young age. This loss is combined with a very real fear that teenagers feel. The simultaneous crashing of a car and losing of your parent is enough to shake young viewers to their core, making one of the scariest moments in the movie a scene without Mr. Turner. Now, of course, these teenage wishes and fears, this boredom and angst, they're all common feelings one undergoes while growing up anywhere. And these themes resonate so strongly in Disturbia. I think that's largely to do with the involvement of Steven Spielberg, who served as an uncredited executive producer due to his role in the film's production studio, DreamWorks. Spielberg was actually one of the main drivers of turning this script into a film, and he went on to have a hands-on role in the shooting. He even called for this scene of a boy riding down a suburban street on his trike, which is all too reminiscent of another Steven Spielberg film, about another young boy who has an absent father and lies to his mom about what he's been up to avoid getting in trouble with the authorities. Yes, I did just compare Disturbia to E.T., and if you stop watching here, I can't say I'd blame you. Anyways, Spielberg's influence, while subtle, is undeniable. The suburban tropes and homages to his earlier works are heightened even further by the presence of dead bodies in a muddy underground pool as our protagonist finally uncovers the disturbing truth in his neighborhood. Yes, I did just compare Disturbia to Poltergeist, and if you stop watching here, I can't say I blame you. And even aside from the crafty dialogue and welcomed Spielberg nods, the film achieves success through astounding feats of technical filmmaking. One of the reasons I keep revisiting Disturbia is the editing, particularly the utilization of the right shots alongside the right music. The original score by Geoff Zanelli is one of my personal favorites, and, much like the movie, wildly underrated.
Yeah, but I don't mess with you while you're fishing, that's the deal. To the door. No! Okay, go. I got it. Oh God, we are so busted! So, same shift tomorrow?
I'll get back to you.
Come on! Come on! Turn green, I'm in! Turn green! Come on! Yes! 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 Woo!
Anyways, I hope that this has helped some of you consider rediscovering Disturbia. If you ever do revisit the movie, I hope you'll see it with a new eye and appreciate it as a pretty spot-on reflection of what teenagers were like in the second half of this millennium's first decade. How they talked, what tech they used, and what they went through. Particularly those living in suburbia.